Well, good morning, and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson, and the Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, fightbackmedia.com, fightbackmedia.com. Check us out. New project on fightbackmedia.com. This is our first, the first full week starting of that project. It's Fightback Media TV. Now, Fightback Media TV is a place on the website. Right now, it's on the first page. And it may move to its own website, depending on how you like it and how you support it. It might move to its own website. That is the dream. That's the hope. That plays basically all the videos that we do. A lot of them will be snippets of morning reports, Fightback 2020s, Fightback 2021s. Going back into my Tea Party days and Liberty News days as we build content. Some videos from our friend Paul Swanson, and even as a special thing, some videos of my wife and I's project, Real Talk with Deb and Will, for that talk about marriage and marriage relationships. So we'll try to. I think that's going to be the second channel when we get enough cash to do more than one channel. But right now, everything's just sort of mished on one channel. So we need you to check it out. It's on the fightbackmedia.com website. Fightback Media TV, Fightback Media TV, Fightback Media TV. We appreciate you being here today. We have some interesting stories. Things are changing, and things are always changing and morphing. So we're going to talk about that. We're talking about the president not, making any mention on the socials about D-Day yesterday. D-Day, the invasion of D-Day of Normandy, was yesterday on Sunday, and as you know, it was the battle that basically changed the direction of the war, and it was a pretty big deal. It was in all the papers. We're also going to talk about there are some, and we've talked about this forever. We have talked about this forever. There are some Democrats that are not excited about what's going on. There's some Democrats, and they're starting to get to their Congress critters and letting them know. Not everybody's down with what's going on. Not everybody is. Not the rank and file Democrat is a socialist. They're not. And just because they didn't vote for Trump doesn't mean they're socialist, or want communism, or want everything handed to them or their children on a silver platter. That's not true. So, and these people are starting to speak up and get in the ear and get in the face of their Congress critters. That may be a good thing for Republicans, strangely enough. We'll talk about that a little bit. And of course, this group, this Lincoln Project. I was told by a friend of mine that I needed to get on board with the Lincoln Project because that's where all the smart GOPers were. That's where the smart GOP is. Well, we're finding out that's not so true, is it? The Lincoln Project is a hot mess. Its founder is gone due to this sex scandal, and just a hellish nightmare. But it won't go away, and we'll talk a little bit about that too. We're also going to play a little bit of the, not a little bit, we're going to play our friend Tim Bryce's piece from The Bryce's Right Today. Why are people hiring? And it's an incredible story that he tells about a hiring party at a Taco Bell. You heard it. A hiring party at a Taco Bell. So it should be fantastic. I read the script, and you are going to love it. All right. Again, my name is Willie Lawson. This is the Morning Report. It is June 7th. Can you guys understand that? That is June 7th already. We are dang near halfway through this year. Wow. It's a lovely day. Let me see. Yep, it's a lovely day in West Central Florida. It's going to rain today because it's summertime. Yeah, the sun's it's out. It's pretty out there. It's getting warm. It's in the mid 80s already. All right, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back with more of the program right after these messages. Blooming Days Flower Shop is the premier florist in Tampa, offering flower delivery from Brandon to Lutz. Originally opened in 1986, Blooming Days Flower Shop has grown to be the florist in Tampa that customers trust most. Our family-owned local flower shop produces flower arrangements with superior design. And we're best known for our same-day flower delivery as well as the selection of special bouquets we've been crafting with love for 30 years. Our main flower shop is in Tampa, located at 11618 North Florida Avenue. Our secondary flower shop is in Newport Richey at 6835 State Road 54. If you want flower delivery in Tampa, give us a call at 813-933-1942 or 800-330-3297. Whether you're seeking your next adventure or simply want to reinvent the weekend getaway, Icon makes flying more exciting and more accessible than ever before. Prepare to redefine everything you thought you knew about aviation. Whether flying is something you already do or something you've always dreamt of doing but thought was out of reach, Icon's flight training courses are intended to show you how to get the most from the A5 in this unique operating environment. If you are interested in more information, please send me an email at iconA5info@gmail.com. That's iconA5info@gmail.com. SwansonReport.net. The SwansonReport.net. The SwansonReport.net. A website that is dipped in truth and rolled in cogent conservative thought. Ready to challenge the mainstream media narrative with ease and aplomb. The SwansonReport.net. The SwansonReport.net.
A conservative who seeks truth over the conventional statist wisdom, coming to you from the southern headquarters of FightbackMedia.com, your host, Willie Lawson.
All right, we're back. Thank you ever so much for spending some time with us today. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Another song. All right. Like I said, yesterday marked the 77th anniversary of D-Day. Again, that's a battle that changed the course of the Second World War. Some people would say, and I think they'd be correct, that was the battle that saved the planet from Germany and Hitler. So it was super important. It was super important. Now I know a lot of kids now may not understand that importance because they're not taught that. So they don't know, and they're not taught that in schools, or they're not taught that by their parents either. You know, this whole idea that everything should be learned in schools is kind of ridiculous too. I think that a lot of this stuff should be taught to our kids by us. I think that that's probably a better solution than necessarily having everything have to go through schools. Because we've learned we can't trust them. Haven't we learned that? Haven't we learned that we just can't trust them? Yeah. All right. So, in any case, we would hope that the President of the United States, though, would know better. And his staff would know better. But yesterday, on the socials, no mention of D-Day. If you followed any of the White House or presidential socials, the commander-in-chief completely neglected to mention the U.S.-led invasion of Normandy in World War II on Sunday, tweeting instead a video of him meeting with survivors of the Tulsa race massacre. Yeah. We're going to talk a little bit about that too on a separate video. That's going to be on locals.com. It'll be exclusive content on locals.com and exclusive content on fightbackmedia.com. This is what he tweeted. I met with survivors of the Tulsa massacre this week to help fill the silence, because in silence wounds deepen, and as painful as it is, only in remembrance do wounds heal. I'm not sure that's true. Anyway, while he briefly mentioned D-Day twice during a Memorial Day speech in Arlington National Cemetery, he did not commemorate the anniversary at all on Sunday. So I guess he says, I've already done that. I talked about D-Day. Why are we still talking about D-Day? D-Day's over. 77 years old. I did talk about it. Now, Vice President Kamala Harris, meanwhile, did mark the anniversary with a tweet that read this: on the 77th anniversary of #D-Day, we honor the heroes who stormed the beaches of Normandy and liberated a continent. We will never forget their courage and sacrifice. Then Jill Biden, Dr. Jill, maybe she have a show, Dr. Phil and Dr. Jill. How awful would that be? That would be almost as bad as the Mayweather Paul Jones fight. But it'd be pretty, I don't know if it'd be that bad, but it'd be pretty bad. 77 years ago, families gathered around radios and heard FDR pray for peace that would let all men live in freedom, reaping the just reward of their honest toil. Let us never forget those who fought, their families or sacrifices, and let us always pray for peace. I'm not sure who they're praying to. But, But, of course, people on Twitter, because people believe Twitter is the real world, continue to blast Biden for his failure to commemorate the day. Benny Johnson, good morning to everyone except U.S. presidents who refused to mention D-Day on the 75th anniversary. What a disgrace. Matt Couch from the Real Matt Couch. Nice of Joe Biden to speak about D-Day today. Oh, wait, never mind, he didn't. Chad Gilmartin, President Biden never acknowledged D-Day yesterday. Shameful. Well, all these things are true. He didn't. Did not. But I don't want us to get caught up in that. There are super important things going on. Yes, it's a bad look for Biden. It's a bad look for the administration. For sure. Bad look. But that's not where our focus should be. I did this story so I could tell you this. It's not where our focus should be. Our focus needs to be on policy. Our focus needs to be on local governments, local elections that are coming up. Our focus needs to be on the 2022 elections that are coming up. Every House seat is up. There's a chance that that Republicans can make another big gain in the House. We must maintain the Senate. Oh, by the way, there could be a resurgence. Let's go ahead and get to that story. It says an unlikely voter bloc may be the key to a GOP resurgence. While prevailing wisdom has pointed towards demographic change in the United States favoring Democrats, according to a GOP pollster, Kurt Anderson, that's not necessarily what the polling is showing. In a slide presentation to the National Republican Senatorial Committee, Anderson presented the findings of the National Republicans, what's that called? National Republican Senate Committee survey of Hispanic voters in battleground states, showing that they are leaning Republican. Well, it's easy to figure out why. It's super easy to figure out why. A lot of these folks have come from places that have been socialist, real live socialists. And they can see the signs. And they don't want any part of it. They don't want any part of it. Zero part of it. The top line from his 34-page slide deck: the coalition of the ascendant is descending. The proof: the two senators sitting at the table won elections in a Sunbelt state that has become substantially less white and more Republican. And this is the thing that frightens the Democrats to death. It scares them to death. Because the last thing that they want is part of their black and brown coalition to start voting Republican. That is the last thing they want. Because now because then they'll have nothing. Which is exactly why they've been concentrating on the black and brown coalition. Okay. The moment their multi-ethnic, multiracial working class coalition has arrived, Republicans hope the Hispanic voters are the key. They said how well Marco Rubio would do because of his Cuban descent. Senator Rick Scott said noting how Rubio won 48% of those voters in his 2016 race. But when I did it, they said, well, there's something different about Florida. Well, there is. If you look at these poll numbers, it's not. If you look at these poll numbers, Hispanics across the country are Republicans. Well, I don't know if that's so true. And Rick Scott was my governor, and he looks like Skeletor, and I like the guy. But I think that it's that a lot of Hispanics are not, what they're not is socialists. They don't want the socialism. They've seen it fail. I mean, fail miserably in countries that they've come from or they were near. A lot of people in Florida are from Colombia. So they were up close and personal to the failures of Venezuela and Argentina. They're up close and personal to those failures. I may have relatives in these places, and they don't want that here. They don't. The GOP theory of the case ahead of the midterms, where Republicans must not only defend the 20 of their seats, but also flip at least one Democrat seat to retake the Senate. Sounds simple. If Republicans can reach out to them, Scott says, of the Hispanics, we're going to win. Well, if I could help my friend Rick Scott, it's not about reaching out to them. It's about making sure that you understand what they're saying. Not reaching out to them, but listening to what they're saying. And this is a key for basically all you Congress critters, all you politicians. If you can be, if candidates can and parties can be smart enough to actually listen and stop talking for a minute, then what will happen is that you'll understand. You will have an understanding of what people want, and more importantly, what people don't want. And you'll understand your black voters, your Hispanic voters, your white voters, your business owners, your employees. You'll understand because you will have listened more than you have spoken. A survey of 1,200 Hispanic likely voters in Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Wisconsin, conducted by the On Message Strategies, is welcome news to a party that went in just 4 years from the unified control of Washington to the banishment for the electoral in the electoral wilderness. It shows an increasingly conservative Hispanic population open to the culture that Donald Trump waged. The survey found these voters overwhelmingly rejected socialism. What did I just tell you? While favoring the free market, 63% to 17%. They also have concerns in the U.S. is in decline, 67% to 28%, meaning their children with concerns that their children will not experience the same opportunities in the country. Other concerns include the quality of public schools, cancel culture, and the loss of traditional American values. Now, here's the deal. Here's where the left misses it. when they say that people are coming to this country, especially coming to this country illegally, for a better life than they left. Now, what we're finding out is that a lot of these folks aren't stupid. They saw what happened in their own countries. And when they start seeing the same thing here, they start wondering, well, is this going to be better? Is this going to be better long term? Or is this just going to be more of the same? Is this going to be more one-party rule? It didn't seem that way, but it's seeming that way now. Other concerns include, again, the argument from the left is the country is a place that has not been good for people other than the majority over much of our history. Rubio said, reports the RCP, Hispanics just don't buy it. Well, you know why they don't buy it? Because, again, it's what people say, and then again, what people see. What people say, and then again, what people see. A lot of Hispanics, and again, that's probably not the best word. Hispanics are from Spain. But a lot of people from other countries, especially countries like Mexico and South America, what they see is they see successful people from their home nations doing very well here. They see successful people from their home nation, from their own home nations, and other places around the world coming to America and doing very well. They see Haitians coming from the hellhole that is Haiti and doing very well in America. They see people from the continent of Africa coming here and doing better than the black people who were born here. They see people from India coming here and doing very, very well. They see people from all over the world because they have a more global, because the rest of the world really has a more global mentality than our less parochial mentality than we do here. They see people come from all over the world and doing very well. So they're just not buying that, it's only good for the majority. The only people who are buying that are young white liberals. That's the only people who are buying that. All right, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back with more of the Morning Report right after this. Make sure that you go to Fight Back Media TV, Fight Back Media TV, Fight Back Media TV on the fightbackmedia.com page. This video will be up, after I get it edited, will be up on the page probably this evening. So, again, thank you ever so much. We'll take a little break. We'll be back with more of the Morning Report. Morning Report 333, by the way. 333. I love saying 333. We're getting there. We're headed to 1,000. But we're going to stop by 500 first. We'll be back right after these messages. Well, hey everybody, my name is Willie Lawson, and you guys know that I do a lot of stuff on the internet, and you may think with what's happening on Twitter and what's happening on Facebook and what happened to Parler that the mainstream social media sources are really trying to rid themselves of conservative voices. And you'd be right. They most certainly are. But you know what? It isn't as bad as you think it is. It's worse. But there are people who are willing to be platformed for free speech. One of those One of those places is freedomforum.website. Freedomforum.website. You can go there and speak your mind. So come join us. Enjoy the freedom. Enjoy the fun. If you are a true blue conservative, small businesses are near and dear to your heart. They are the lifeblood of our life and economy. I believe this, and that's why my florist is not a website or phone number. My florist is Bloomingdale's Flower Shop, Tampa's premier flower shop. At 11618 North Florida Avenue here in Tampa, Florida, and at 6835 State Road 54 in Newport Richey. Call Christine at 813-933-1942 and at 727-232-6900. She can also be reached on the web at www.bloomingdays.com. One of the things that I get asked most is where can I get information that is not tainted with liberal bias, especially here in the Tampa Bay area. Well, now I have the answer. tbctampa.com, a website by and for Tampa area conservatives. Tampa's leading conservative voices speak freely at tbctampa.com, and you can too. So join the fun and enjoy the freedom at tbctampa.com. My name is Willie Lawson, and this is the Morning Report. All right, we're back. One of the benefits of doing this kind of stuff is that you come across people that are of like mind, that are very talented, and want to collaborate. They want to do things together. They see the value of help. They see the value of somebody else lifting up their sign. And I have been fortunate. I have been super fortunate to find a number of those people in what I do here. And some of them have been collaborators in content, and others have been collaborators on many other fronts. So I've been blessed. And one of these people that I have found is a gentleman by the name of Tim Bryce. Tim Bryce is fabulous and does a near daily column and video of that of his column every day, and he has a incredible insight and a wicked wit, and is agreed for us to be able to share his content right here. So right now, without further ado, we're going to play the Bryce is Right. Fight Back Media is proud to have a rock-solid conservative contribute to our effort on the Morning Report. And now it's time for The Bryce is Right.
This is Tim Bryce with my column titled, Why is Everyone Hiring? I recently went on my annual pilgrimage of fly fishing in North Carolina. I drove this time in spite of the recent gas scare where the pipeline was allegedly sabotaged. Nonetheless, I traveled through Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and of course, Florida. Along the way, in all of these states, I saw signs clearly stating, hiring. I primarily saw them at gas stations, fast food restaurants, laundromats, supermarkets, drugstores, even bait shops. I was also told by the locals there were numerous big companies in the area hiring as well. After fishing early in the morning, a buddy of mine and I stopped in Spruce Pine, North Carolina at a KFC Taco Bell for lunch. Their sign out front invited job seekers to come in on Fridays for their interview party. Party, I asked myself, and began wondering if hats and horns were included. It was then I started noticing a change going on. When we ordered our food, the manager was a white woman, but everyone working in the back were all of Mexican heritage. I don't have a problem with this offhand, except if I have a problem with an order, which I did that day. I couldn't remember enough high school Spanish to let them know what was wrong. Oy. I'm now hearing more and more stories of companies trying hiring parties and other gimmicks to encourage people to come in and go through the hiring process, such as a signing bonus to work at a fast food restaurant. Down here in the Tampa Bay area, a local McDonald's made the news when they offered $50 for people to come in and be interviewed for a job. Despite the incentive, very few people applied. One of the managers claimed people didn't even come in to scam them. The company stopped the experiment after 2 weeks. The point is, as the COVID-19 panic dissipates and companies want to return to normal, they face a brick wall in terms of employment. To illustrate, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics' latest unemployment report states, quote, both the unemployment rate at 6.1% and the number of unemployed persons at 9.8 million were little changed in April. These measures are down considerably from their recent highs in April 2020, but remain well above their levels prior to the coronavirus pandemic. End quote. So what's going on? Why don't people want to work? Quite frankly, why should they if the government is going to pay them not to work? To find out more, I checked with the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity, who claims, as a result of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, which was signed into law on March 11, 2021, the federal pandemic unemployment compensation, which provides an additional $300 for eligible claimants, has been extended to September 6, 2021. This includes former employees and now, courtesy of the CARES Act, independent contractors and other workers who are ordinarily ineligible for unemployment benefits. Translation, just about everyone who asks for it can get it. Keep in mind the $300 is a supplement, not the main source of unemployment income. This means a lot of people can be collecting a substantial sum through September 6. Consider this. If you are the second person in the household responsible for producing income, there is little incentive for you to return to work, hence the need for hiring signs. To minorities, this is a golden opportunity to advance and obtain job security if they act and prove themselves accordingly. So much so, anyone staying at home to claim the unemployment money can find it difficult to secure a job when the gravy train has ended. Point is, while companies are begging for workers and people are staying home to live off the government's teat, now is the time to get a good job. Friends, keep the faith. This is Tim Bryce in Palm Harbor, Florida. Follow me on the internet at timbryce.com.
Yeah, and, it's the truth. It's the truth. Some people are finding it that the financial incentive to stay home and not work is greater than the incentive to actually work. And if you don't think that's Marxism, crack a book. Crack a book. All right, let's finish up today. Again, like I said at the beginning, I was told by a friend of mine that what I should be doing is leave this Trump thing and go to, the Lincoln Project, because that's where all the smart Republicans are. That's what the smart GOP is. Romney and those clowns, right? However, what we're finding out is that this anti-Trump group is a hot mess. And these guys really can't let this go. They can't get over the fact that Donald Trump ruined their best laid plans and were exposed as screwing people out of their money. And they did. It seems like somebody thought, I know there's enough anti-Trumpers. How can we make money? I know. We'll call something a Lincoln Project because Lincoln is the founder of the GOP, and we'll get all these anti-Trump Democrats and all these anti-Trump Republicans together, and we'll make a buck. Of course, they were talking about the Lincoln Project. The anti-Trump group is pretty much brain dead. The people who the key people are gone. The co-founder, John Weaver, engulfed the entire operation in a sex scandal centering around inappropriate messages to scores of young men. They're a joke. Though whoever is left there keeps peddling the social media posts and an appalling lack of self-awareness that they're not posting things that they shouldn't be posting and commenting on due to the sex scandal. We have other ex-core members like Steve Schmidt saying insane stuff like this. Steve Schmidt, co-founder of the anti-Trump group, the Lincoln Project, slammed the media for his coverage of the former president ending his blog and warned that Trump's words will surely kill again. In a lengthy Twitter thread, Schmidt, a veteran GOP strategist, weighed in on how to assess the former president's relativity and power amid the shutdown from the desk of the Donald J. Trump blog. Schmidt criticized the profoundly stupid media coverage around the blog shutdown and argued against the notion that it's evidence of his decline, irrelevance, and diminishment. And diminishment. That's right. Diminishment. There you go. Trump has the ability to kill. This is what Schmidt says. Trump has the ability to kill and destroy with his spoken word. Trump's not God. Let me help all y'all. Trump's not God. His words, his lies, delusions, and conspiracy theories, like the virus was in a lab in China, have caused bloodshed. That is what happened on January 6th. His words will surely kill again. Ashley Bobbitt was killed by a Capitol police officer. No other weapons were confiscated by any of the law enforcement agencies that reported. So if somebody is hooked on delusions and conspiracy theories, it's this Schmidt dude. I mean, he just seems to be hung up. So we're back to the insurrection, the non-insurrection that occurred on January 6th. It was a riot, not an armed insurrection, and it's not an armed insurrection for the very same reason I just said. Because the only person that died in the building was Ashley Babbitt. And Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick was later revealed to have died of a heart attack. National causes. The rioters didn't kill him, which remains the prevailing liberal media lie. The former president deserves his First Amendment rights. Steve, no matter how much you may hate him, sorry. That's how things work here in America. Trump's ban on Facebook was said to be a 2-year timetable. They will revisit reinstatement after that time. So why 2 years? Because they don't want Trump to have a voice on Facebook during the midterm elections. But Trump's got a voice here. Mr. President, if you'd like to come on, if you'd like to have send us a video, and we'll put that on Fight Back Media TV. No worries, dude, because we got you. Because this is a free speech platform. We got you. All right, sir. We got to get out of here and make room for somebody else. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.